The results are in. More on how younger voters impacted this election.
How a shelter is partnering with Austin Community College to teach job skills to residents.
An 18-year-old now faces murder charges following the death of a Manor High School student. Reporting Texas TV starts now.
Good evening. I'm Kendall Washington.
And I'm Ariba Barmel.
Donald Trump has been elected as the 47th President of the United States. This win marks a significant comeback after his defeat in 2020. Despite facing criticism for his use of divisive rhetoric, Trump defeated Kamala Harris by winning key states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, and accumulating 295 electoral votes. Harris promised a peaceful transfer of power to the president-elect in a concession speech to her supporters Wednesday at Howard University. The Texas Senate race between Republican Ted Cruz and Democratic Congressman Colin Allred is the most expensive Senate race in the country this year. Cruz raised $86 million while Allred raised $80 million. Texas was once considered a donor state, but as it becomes more competitive, money that once went to other states is staying in Texas. Cruz beat Allred 53% to 44%.
With most races now called and analysis well underway, many are asking what fueled the former president's ascension back to the White House.
Some of those answers might lay with young voters. Our Logan Dubel joins us now in the studio with more on who turned out to the polls on Tuesday and how they shaped the results.
Yeah, guys, following Tuesday night's results, many are looking to younger voters, those 18 to 29, who made up 16% of the national electorate this year. Here in Travis County, people voted by the thousands with roughly 63% turnout. That's down, though, from over 70% 4 years ago. On campus Tuesday, groups like Texas Votes were passing out flowers to students who voted, while other partisan groups, including the University Democrats, engaged with students near the Flan Academic Center. But with a big shift towards the Republicans, one expert says these results aren't surprising.
I think it shows what happens when one of the two major parties actually makes a concerted effort to seek out the votes of young people. And that really freed him in the final weeks of the campaign to focus on groups he was looking to improve his margins with. And in particular, one of those groups was young people, and in particular, young men.
And nationally, men 18 to 29 swung 15 points to the right compared to 2020, likely boosting Trump and other Republicans. Now, the director of research at the Texas Politics Project also told me that the former president's ability to turn out infrequent voters definitely aided in his victory. But as for whether other Republican candidates can replicate that strategy, well, we'll just have to wait and see, political experts say, to the midterms and even 2028. For now, I'm Logan Dubel, reporting Texas TV.
The presidential race wasn't the only contest Austinites kept a close eye on Tuesday. The race for mayor was also underway. Current Mayor Kirk Watson appeared to narrowly avoid a runoff, with 100% of precincts reporting he received just over 50% of the votes. With 5 candidates on the ballot, a candidate needs to receive 50% of the vote plus one.
I'm very hopeful that we can now work together to build on what I believe every candidate and every voter in this election had in common, which is a deep love for this city.
The race will be too close to call until official results come out. The Travis County Clerk's office said there are about 6,000 mail-in ballots that have not been returned. The outcome must be released by November 19th. The Austin Police Department and the city have come to an agreement. After a year and a half of negotiations, the City of Austin and the Police Association have signed a 5-year contract for the Austin Police Department. The $218 million decision includes a 28% increase in raises over 5 years. The contract was approved 10-1 by the Austin City Council last Thursday.
Over 100 OBGYNs across Texas are calling on state leaders to reconsider the state's strict abortion laws. On Sunday, a letter was sent to elected state leaders urging them to make changes. The doctors referred to reporting in ProPublica on 2 pregnant women in Texas who died after medical staff delayed emergency care. The Texas Medical Board has clarified that doctors do not need to wait until there's an imminent risk to patients to treat them. However, this law allows the public to sue doctors or anyone who helps perform an abortion for $10,000. One of the 2 women included in the report was only 18 years old. Nevaeh Crane suffered a miscarriage in 2023 and was unable to receive a life-saving abortion despite showing clear signs of sepsis. Doctors hesitated for hours, moving the teen around 3 separate ERs before she received treatment, a move that led her to the eventual death.
The doctors were more concerned about the baby than her life.
ProPublica reached out for comment from the doctors involved but received no response. The second woman was Jocelyn Bernica, a 28-year-old mother whose untreated miscarriage led to her death in 2021. Doctors delayed emergency care for 40 hours, stating that they could not act until the fetal heartbeat stopped. After Bernica delivered, she died 3 days later due to infection.
An Austin emergency shelter is offering not only housing, but also job training. It's called the John Paul DeJoria Skills Center. They're training for jobs like auto mechanics, plumbing, and other blue-collar trades. The Skill Center is an expansion of the Esperanza community, an emergency homeless shelter in East Austin. It will also partner with the Austin Community College to bring in instructors and help cover tuition for those who qualify.
Central to our work at Austin Community College is loving our students to success. This is what it looks like.
According to the Other Ones Foundation, nearly 90% of people who leave the Esperanza community remain stably housed.
An apartment community set to help those struggling just opened in North Austin. A former motel brought in 2021 is now called the Bungalows at Century Park and is owned by Integral Care. This 60-unit community on Burnett Road is meant to help single adults facing homelessness and those with disabilities.
We're in a community where affordable housing itself is a continued challenge. If you are struggling with significant mental health needs, you're way behind the 8 ball.
The city of Austin, which funds Integral Care, bought the property for nearly $7 million and spent $4 million renovating it, close to double the original budget.
Up next, Halloween festivities mean a busier West Campus. We'll hear about programs students can take advantage of to ensure they get home safe at the end of the night.
More treats than tricks this season. Learn how you can fly the candy up, up, and away.
Wash hands now.
You talk to. In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music just like other families do over sports, camping, or other interests. And we talked. Little everyday conversations from silly to serious that built a foundation over time. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic.
Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life. And I was so grateful that you and Mom had become these sober, stable people who were always there for me.
I wanted you to know from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, whether it's music or anything else. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk.
There's an update about the current suspect in the Manor High School stabbing death. Mac Brown Mbonwe, who is charged with stabbing classmate Darren Loving, is now in the Travis County Jail. He's facing a murder charge and being held on a $1 million bond. Mbonwe has been ordered to undergo a mental health evaluation to determine if he is fit to stand trial. His court date is set for November 18th. Manor ISD canceled classes for students the week following the stabbing. This week, Manor senior high schoolers have returned to class. The district announced an update updated school safety plan, assuring parents in a social media post that these new measures will bring a sense of security into the classroom.
Schools tend to be very reactive, which is not the right way to be. We need to learn from what's happening in other schools and at least put some modicum of security arrangements in place.
Some of the new measures include increased police presence, rules preventing congregating in restrooms, and new check-in procedures.
Last Thursday was a busy night for many UT students as Halloween festivities kicked off the weekend.
UT Night Rides and the SureWalk program prepared for the weekend by providing more resources for students to help them get home safely. Reporter Abby Chapman is live in the newsroom with the story.
Halloween, a usually high-traffic holiday, means more students are out about late at night. The president of Safe Horns talked about how important student safety is from West Campus all the way to 6th Street on holidays like Halloween. As students walked around West Campus in their Halloween costumes, UT junior Elizabeth Hotchkiss was already thinking about how she planned to get home safely.
I'll always get to this limit where I'm like, okay, you know, I probably could walk home, but like, what if this is the one time when there is someone that like comes out of nowhere and like grabs me, because I know that I am like a small person.
That's why Elizabeth uses SureWalk or UT Night Rides.
The main message is being safe and watching out for each other.
The safety organization called Safe Horns was extra busy during Halloween weekend.
The week before Halloween, we wanted to make sure that we hosted health and safety collaboration with Safely.
UT has made safety a priority by adding new programs to keep students safe like SureWalk and the West Campus Ambassadors over the past few years.
UT Night Rides provides transportation services through Lyft from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. and can drop off students anywhere on campus. The service provides UT students $100 a month through UT Transportation.
It's $100 a month. If you use all of your $100 credits, you just have to email us and then we'll replenish your account.
The safety groups also to make sure to staff up during big events.
We do see spikes in service around certain holidays or certain university events. And so Halloween happens to be one of those where you'll see a higher utilization.
And for students like Elizabeth, these safe options aren't just peace of mind for her.
I also know with my mom's own stress, she gets really worried about me walking, and so I just have that internal guilt of like, okay, if I don't use the service, then like she would be very scared for me.
While some students may already know about Safe Horns and UT Transportation Services, these organizations hope that even more students will utilize these free services. From the newsroom, Abby Chapman, reporting Texas TV.
Have any leftover Halloween candy? You can get rid of it while giving back to our troops by donating to groups collecting candy to send overseas. San Antonio-based nonprofit Soldiers Angels creates drop-off sites for excess candy around Central Texas and sends the candy to VA hospitals, military bases, and reserve units. Operation Shoebox is a national organization accepting individually wrapped candies by mail to send in care packages to developed forces. Check out our Instagram at Reporting Texas TV for drop-off locations. Spooky season might be over, but the weather is getting spookier. Andreas will give us tips on how to prepare after the break.
Fires in Bastrop have left some pets without a home. More on what you can do to help these displaced dogs.
In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music just like other families do over sports, camping, or other interests. And we talked. Little everyday conversations from silly to serious that built a foundation over time. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic.
Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life. And I was so grateful that you and Mom had become these sober, stable people who were always there for me.
I wanted you to know from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, whether it's music or anything else. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Wash hands now. Wash hands now. Wash hands now. Wash hands now.
Hand washing is one of the best ways to stay healthy all year long.
It looks like fall has finally arrived in Austin, and I'm here for it. A much-needed change, to say the least. Sorry, Texas heat.
You're so right, Kendall. I've noticed those cooler mornings, and I'm really looking forward to those dropping temperatures.
The numbers don't lie, folks, so remove the dust from your sweaters, because it's time for sweater weather to shine. And speaking of shine, there was little to none this morning as the clouds rolled over the sky. Therefore, it's no surprise that today we're looking at thunderstorms with a chance of 55% precipitation, so make sure those umbrellas are at hand, especially if you're feeling under the weather. The high for today is 82 degrees and the low is 69. It's expected to rain into the evening, so if you're running errands, be careful of slippery roads. Tomorrow we're expecting much of the same with more rain and cloudy skies. The temperature will reach a high of 84 in the afternoon and a low of 59 in the night. There is a 40% chance of rain, so don't forget your rain boots too and wear a light sweater. On Saturday, anticipate a mostly sunny day, perfect for a picnic or a walk in the park, as the high will be 75 and the low 55. Sunday will also be mostly sunny with more beautiful weather with a high of 79 and a low of 56. On Monday and Tuesday, look out for the weather to reach the mid-80s again, but don't worry, the temperature will fall back to the 70s for the remainder of the week. I feel like I have to carry 2 outfits throughout the day, but the good thing is that this heat is finally going down.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like this morning I had my jacket on, but it was too hot.
Yeah, I keep walking out in the morning and being surprised by the colder weather because by the evening it's warm again.
Yep.
When we come back, a close battle in the World Series is decided by 1 run. More on the victory and the celebrations that followed.
The Longhorns return to DKR this weekend to face a new competitor, and another loss is the last thing they need. Are they ready? Find out after the break.
In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music just like other families do over sports, camping, or other interests. And we talked. Little everyday conversations from silly to serious that built a foundation over time. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic.
Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life. And I was so grateful that you and Mom had become these sober, stable people who were always there for me.
I wanted you to know from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, whether it's music or anything else. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on.
To the left. To the right.
Honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Welcome to the weekly update on all things sports. I'm Amberlyn Negron. To start our update off, the Los Angeles Dodgers won their 8th World Series title after defeating the New York Yankees in their home stadium by 1 run last Wednesday. This is the team's second series win in the last decade following their 2020 victory over the Tampa Bay Rays.
True with this group of guys, I couldn't ask for a better year.
Last Friday, the champs celebrated their win with 2 million fans at their victory parade and rally in downtown LA. Their merch store also released a line of limited edition bats commemorating their epic performance this season. Heading back to Texas, men's basketball had their season opener this Monday. Number 19 Longhorns played against unranked Ohio State in Las Vegas for the first game of the 2024 season and their first game as members of the SEC. Unfortunately, the Horns fell short and lost 72-80 against the Buckeyes. However, not all bad things came from the opener. Texas freshman and guard Trey Johnson had an outstanding performance during the game, so well that he broke Kevin Durant's freshman scoring record of 20 points with his own 29 points in his debut performance as a Longhorn. You can get a glimpse of Johnson tomorrow at the home game against Houston Christian University. In football, Texas resurfaces at number 5 in the AP poll. After their close victory over Vanderbilt, Texas has re-entered the top 5 conversation. Texas held the number 1 title for 3 weeks, but dropped, concluding their first loss to Georgia in the controversial game 3 weeks ago. A week of sitting at rank 6, the Horns are back at number 5 with hopes to climb. Their next matchup is with the Florida Gators. Returning to DKR Stadium this Saturday, Texas will face their 5th SEC opponent, the University of Florida, with large favors pointing toward a burnt orange victory, but head coach Sarkisian does not want to get ahead of himself.
We know the month of November for us is one that's going to be challenging, but as we say around here, the games in November are the ones you remember. So we got to put in a lot of work, and it starts this Saturday against University of Florida.
The matchup will happen at 11 a.m. this Saturday as the 6th home game this season with a sold-out crowd. Now, I don't know about you ladies, but I'm ready to see my man Arch Manning and to see Texas win for another time.
No, honestly, I'm excited that they're coming back. I hate I won't be able to be at the game, but sounds like they're going to do well. But fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm excited to have them back at home. I'm not going to the game, but I'm excited to walk around Vivo Boulevard a bit.
Coming up, a farewell to a remarkable life. The oldest living person in the United States has passed away. We'll take a look back at the legacy they leave behind.
Holiday festivities are underway as Austin Energy begins stringing the Zilker Park tree. More on the iconic tradition later.
You talk to. In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music just like other families do over sports, camping, or other interests. And we talked. Little everyday conversations from silly to serious that built a foundation over time. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic.
Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life. And I was so grateful that you and Mom had become these sober, stable people who were always there for me.
I wanted you to know from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, whether it's music or anything else. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, backpack kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on.
To the left. To the right. Let's go.
Oh, honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
The oldest woman in the country died peacefully in Texas Tuesday. The Houston resident was the third oldest person in the world after turning 115 in July. She never learned to drive, so her lifestyle of walking or taking the bus everywhere, early rising, eating healthy, and working hard contributed to her longevity. She says the secret to a long and happy life is to, quote, treat people like you want to be treated.
Instagram famous squirrel Peanut, loved by over 500,000 fans, was taken from his home this week in Pine City, New York. State officials seized Peanut along with a raccoon named Fred over concerns about rabies risk. Sadly, both animals were put down for testing. Peanut's owner Mark Longo expressed concern for the approach by officials.
They sent 6 to 8 officers to my house from Albany to confiscate a squirrel and a raccoon, and it was signed off on a search warrant. So just that in its sense to say that is one of the most shocking.
For many, Peanut was more than a pet. He was a little internet icon who brought so much joy. Longo says he's determined to keep Peanut's memory alive through his animal sanctuary, Peanut's Freedom Farm.
As the Hudson Fire in Bastrop County forces evacuations and burns through hundreds of acres, Austin Pets Alive is urgently calling for help. Over 100 dogs were displaced with Bastrop County Animal Services due to the fire, and APA is looking for emergency fosters. Hours at their Cesar Chavez location have been extended to find temporary homes for pets, and they are encouraging people who can't make it in person to sign up online to help out.
An Austin Christmas classic is setting up. Austin Energy is stringing lights for the Zilker holiday tree. The annual tradition in Zilker Park is entering its 58th year. The lighting ceremony is scheduled for Sunday, December 1st and will remain up until January 1st.
So cooler weather coming this weekend for the game at home?
Yeah, I mean, especially this weekend, Saturday and Sunday both really sunny, and that's coming with, you know, the weather just been kind of going up and down throughout the day. It's hot, then it gets really cool in the night. But, I mean, just take a look at Saturday and Sunday, just in the 70s. So, you know, the game, any of y'all going?
Unfortunately, I'm not going to the game. What about you guys?
I'm not either.
I have work, so no.
Boo, I'll be there. So, you know, I'm going to be enjoying the game with that beautiful weather. So.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Reporting Texas TV.
If you'd like to check out any of our stories or our newscast, please visit reportingtexas.com. We'll see you next Thursday.